Hello, I'm Derek Taylor, Regional Sales Manager for Unipipe and Product Manager as well.
I'm Joe. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Unipipe in the Southeast region. And today we're going to go ahead and review our Unipipe sample kit. Now, the sample kit is a fantastic way to introduce the brand to your customers. Our sample kit includes an awesome showing of our product and our size ranges. So when you receive our sample kit, you'll receive this fantastic looking box, you'll receive our video card, and you'll receive some of our key components for our Unipipe systems. Now, what this kit includes is several of our most popular features. The first thing I'll go ahead and I'll show is our standard piping. This is rated up to 232 psi or 16 bar, but we also have our high pressure pipe, which is rated up to 1015 psi. Now, this kit has several features in it. The first feature we'll go ahead and we'll demonstrate is our standard tees and couplings. Now, what makes this tee superior to the other brands or superior to our system is the fact that there are no special tools required to put this system together. There's no requirement to do anything special to the pipe. There's no grooving, beveling, or special tools required to assemble this.
And just to reiterate on that, Joe, that's through the whole size range from 3/4 inch through 10 inch.
Yes.
No grooving, no drilling, no crimping.
Yes. And that's one of the benefits to this. So one tool, a guy can go around and service a system in multiple sizes. With no special tools, we're able to remove and examine our tees and our fittings, and you can see we have a locking ring, and then we've got a clinch ring and an O-ring on the inside of it. Now, what this O-ring does is once the pipe is inserted into the fitting, the clinch ring will tighten down onto the pipe, creating a tight, secure fitting. Simply slide the pipe in, go hand tight, and then another quarter turn with a standard wrench, channel locks, or gripping tool or a pair of pliers.
Yeah, just anything that you've got in your toolbox. Again, we like to reiterate the fact that your installer would have every tool in their toolbox right now to make this installation. There's no special wrench to tighten that down. Any pair of channel locks or adjustable wrench or anything like that will do the job for you.
Yeah, absolutely. The next feature I'll show about our kit is what we call our saddle branch. Now, what makes this saddle branch so much better than traditional methods is the saddle branch can go on the pipe in almost any direction. Now, the saddle branch, what we do is we can place the drop or the branch in any position. Can go straight down, it can go over to the left, however deemed necessary for the install. Once we have our saddle branch attached to our header pipe, we come back and we remove the cap. We remove this cap, and what this does is it allows us to drill a hole into the side of the pipe. Once we drill the hole in the side of the pipe, we come back and we add our cap. Now, what we just did here is we tapped a hole in the side of the pipe. In doing so, any condensation or byproduct from the compressor stays in the header and is not being dumped down into our equipment, our filters, or any other component that could have a problem with getting contaminants in it. Once we have our drop, we go ahead and we can add in our other features. Well, I just installed a 25 millimeter header, reduced down to a 20 millimeter drop. Once we have our drop in line, we can go ahead and add some of our additional accessories. One of our big features and our other accessories that we have is our male MPT threaded couplings. This is also available in female MPT as well. Now, the benefit of having the MPT threads is not only can we connect to filters and other equipment, but we can also transition from existing piping systems to our aluminum piping system. It's simply slide on, twist, and another half turn on it. The MPT allows for connections for aluminum, steel, galvanized. As long as it's MPT, we can continue on with our other pieces of equipment.
That's good. So maybe now we can kind of show what a typical drop would look like. So this is our wall bracket for drops. This is our dual, and we've got 2 1/2-inch NPT connections here, as well as a thumb valve at the bottom to release any condensate that may have gotten into the system. This also has a little set screw here in the back, and we'll show you more as to what that does. So this here attaches to any 25 millimeter fitting. So it does not directly attach to pipe. So what we mean by that is we've got an array here of 25 millimeter fittings. We've got a ball valve. We've got a 45-degree fitting. We've got a T. So typically a drop is terminated with a ball valve in one of these wall-mounted adapters. So the way this works here is we remove the nut and the grip ring from inside the fitting. Still got the O-ring inside there, and then you see on the top of this wall bracket here, there's this stem. That is actually the same outside diameter as 25 millimeter pipe. So that actually seals off against the O-ring inside the ball valve here. So we simply take this, we can remove this plastic identifying ring as well. We take this, we thread it in. At this point, the stem is sealed up against the O-ring inside the fitting, and that is completely sealed. It will not leak. But if we try to tighten it all the way down, we're going to end up something like this. It's not going to get much tighter than that because we've bottomed out the threads, but obviously things aren't lined up. So that's what that set screw is for in the back. We get it lined up the way we want it, and then there's a set screw right back here. Tighten that set screw, and it's all locked in place. Now from here, we take our 20 or 25 millimeter pipe, and we tie in with one of the quick brackets that Joe was just showing us here earlier.
One of the benefits of doing it in this style and this technology is we're removing our threaded connections. As you notice, Derek didn't use any Teflon or pipe dope to make this connection. The best part about it is we're removing our threaded connections, and we're coming up with a leak-free system through and through. This system comes with a 20-year warranty against leaking or any manufacturing defects. And the technology that we're showing here reinforces that we've got a better brand and a better way of securing our system through our manifolds and our technologies here.
Yeah, that's good. So these come in doubles or singles, and then we've also have here a couple other options. We've got a 4-port, 5-port, and 7-port manifold for other configurations, and these can be used for a wide variety of things, from just at the end of a pipe. We connect to here with an NPT adapter, but we also see these getting used for condensate manifolds as well. So these are very handy manifolds, if you will, to be used for whatever you wish. But just another way to add a bit more options at the end of your drop. So as Joe mentioned, we've got female adapters, we've got male adapters, we've got threaded elbows, and so this is a 25 millimeter by 1/2 inch, but this also comes in 3/4 inch NPT and 1 inch as well, I believe. So you've got a wide variety of threaded adapters to tie into, whether it be an existing, like you mentioned before, iron piping system, even copper, or another aluminum system. One of the other things too is, for the most part, blue pipe is blue pipe. It's just that. Some of it probably comes out of the same factory from different brands. But at the end of the day, our fittings will lock on to any other 25 millimeter pipe. There's 1 or 2 exceptions there, so check with us if you've got any question. But so if you've got an existing 40 millimeter system that might not be the Unipipe brand, there's a good chance that our fittings will lock onto that, so you can cut in a T and keep going. Or if you're looking to change providers, you're not going to get stuck with old inventory.
Exactly.
So one of the couple key things that really set Unipipe apart from the competition is no special tools required from 3/4 inch through 10 inch. We like to review that point because we think it's so important to be able to keep installers going out there without having to make sure they've got the grooving tools with them and all that fun stuff.
Special equipment.
But then it's the fact that it's the only aluminum piping system on the market that goes up to 1,015 psi. So the fittings are actually identical between the low pressure, if you will, the 232 psi system and the 1,015 psi system. They just go through an additional inspection process to make sure there's no casting errors. All the fittings for the whole range are 100% aluminum fittings. So we'll take the fittings, they go through an additional inspection process, but that's really the only difference between the low pressure and high pressure systems.
Now, the other thing that we should mention, that this is a very robust system. This is a system that is all aluminum. It stands up to high heat, high vibration, and high impact environments. The other applications we can do, because it's an all aluminum system, is the product can be installed outside as well. So if we need to go from a system from one building to another, or if our compressor and tanks are outside, this product stands up to the environment and is suitable for outdoor applications.
Yeah, we're not affected by UV rays. We've got the biggest temperature range. I believe it goes from minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to plus 266 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So even install in areas like paint booths that might have a bake cycle or something like that, we can be
powder coating applications, spray booths, that type of environment where it's very dirty, tough, and has a lot of debris or high heat applications. This product exceeds in those types of environments. Now, what Derek is going to demonstrate is what we call a hydrostatic test. And basically what we're doing is we're going to fill up our pipe and our hoses with hydraulic fluid, and we're going to do what's called a burst test. Now, the burst test is to show how the pipe performs under high pressure applications. The pipe hasn't seen any stresses, and as Derek finishes up this pump, he's at 3,400 PSI. And he continues to crank. He's continuing to crank it up to 4,000 PSI. Oh man, it's still going. 4,300 PSI. 4,600 PSI, and we just had the pipe let go. So, Derek, why don't you explain what we just saw here?
So this again was our Unipipe air system, rated at 232 PSI, but failed at nearly 4,600 PSI.
Now, you notice the fail point was in the pipe. The fittings haven't moved. They did not pop off the pipe. Now, this is extruded pipe, so the pipe doesn't have any seams or anything like that. So what had happened is we found the weak point in the pipe, and when we added the pressure, it went ahead and let go. But this is a safe way for us to demonstrate the robustness and the abilities of our aluminum piping systems.
So you might say, why do I need that kind of pressure or that kind of capability with just the Unipipe air? What we didn't show is the Unipipe HP. And what the HP does, that'll fail at a much higher pressure, obviously, because as you could see, the fittings did not move, but it was the pipe that failed. So a few industries that this opens up for you that you may not have been able to work with before. You've got bottle blowing applications, where those are traditionally at about 600 PSI. So now we can, instead of running heavy wall Schedule 80 welded iron pipe, we can now do this in an aluminum system in much faster time frame.
It installs much quicker, much easier than our standard systems. Not to mention, we can also use this system for nitrogen, vacuum, and some fluid movements. Depending on which fluids it is, we can determine if the heavy wall pipe is suitable for that. So your waste oils and some other fluids would be suitable for our high pressure piping system.
So even the motor oils, one other application we're seeing this used in a lot is the multi-fluid systems in car dealerships or vehicle service centers, even heavy equipment. So you run in your motor oil, your hydraulic oil, things of that nature that you have in a bulk storage tank back in the back corner of the facility, running out to hose reels throughout the facility. That's traditionally been done in seamless stainless steel piping, but now we can safely do that all with an aluminum pipe system that looks clean, doesn't need to be painted, and installs very, very quickly with no special tools once again.
Exactly. So I think that, the points that we're making here is that this aluminum pipe is, suitable for compressed air, but let's not only focus on compressed air. Let's look at some of the other aspects and the other features and benefits of this aluminum piping system. So, one system can cover multiple facets of an install or multiple systems in a facility. being able to have a product that is quick, simple, clean, sterile, yields a better result than the traditional systems that we've seen in the past. So Unipipe is a great solution for compressed air, vacuum, nitrogen, and fluid movement. And we appreciate you tuning in and seeing Derek and I do our hydrostatic test and introducing the Unipipe brand. Thanks.
Thank you very much.